welcome to Tome of Uselessness. I'm Devon.
I'm Dan.
And today we're doing a very, very special video game episode where I'm going to tell you about a game that I just beat. Are you so excited, Dan?
I am.
So, spoilers, this is for a game that came out 22 years ago that everyone I've talked to about it has no memory of. So, if it's on your to-play list, if Quest for Glory 5 Dragonfire is on your to-play list, you want to pause this until you've beat it.
And have you played like 1 to 4 or 1 to 5 or like in the
I
past?
have not. So here's my personal history with the game.
Yeah.
It came out in 1998. But I don't think we got it until like 1999 or even the year 2000.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was the year 2000 because my dad bought it and it was several discs long and it was our first computer with a CD-ROM.
Oh, okay.
And I know that I didn't have that computer before the year 2000 because I was nerd and I spent New Year's Eve of like 1999 to 2000 with my old computer on to see if it would blow up.
Nice.
Every day. So that's how I know that we didn't have the game until at least the year 2000.
Fair enough.
But I also know it was before like 2001 because I hadn't dated anyone yet and I spent a lot of time playing computer games.
Mm-hmm.
It was like this and The Sims.
Classic.
Oh my god, I loved The Sims so much. I had the expansion packs and it would crash the computer all the time. And I went on the Sims website or EA's website and you could download like mods for whatever and make your character look like Austin Powers. Was one that I remember.
Excellent.
And it would fuck up my computer so bad. So this game came out, Quest for Glory 5 came out in 1998. It was put out by the company Sierra, which went out of business in 2004. But they also did the King's Quest.
Yeah, Sierra had a lot of classics in that era.
Yeah, it is classified as action role-playing. But the other games in the series are more like a graphical adventure that are point and click.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Yeah, so, and is 5 point and click or they changed it up?
It is also point and click, but there's combat in it. And it doesn't take you to like a new screen. Like the other games, apparently, it would be like point and click. And if you had to do a fight, it would be more like an old Street Fighter kind of fight.
Nice.
But in 5, you click rapidly on the bad guy.
Nice.
So it came out to very good critical reviews. And the soundtrack was actually released before the demo was sold. And it instantly sold 50,000 copies and made $500,000.
Wow.
I know. It's insane because it seems like Quest for Glory 5 was like apparently okay, sorry, getting ahead of myself, but Quest for Glory 1 through 4 was based on different directions on a compass. So there was like hero from the east, the hero travels west, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And Quest for Glory 5 broke with that tradition, but it was like everything in the game is like fan service.
Nice.
Which is hilarious if you have not played any of the other games and you're not familiar with the fandom.
Right.
It was also nominated for CNET Game Center's Game of the Year in 1998, but it lost to Grim Fandango.
Ah, yes. That's one of my favorite games.
I don't know, what was Grim Fandango?
That's also a point-and-click adventure put out by EA, and in it you play Manny Calavera, and you're a Reaper, and it's in the world of the dead, but it's like, a Mexico-style world of the dead.
Ooh, that sounds actually pretty cool.
Yeah, it's such a great game, and they did do a remaster of it, so it works better on modern machines.
Oh, maybe I'll look into that.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite games. It's got such a great story and it's a lot of fun.
I was thinking about, like, while I was playing this game, I was thinking a lot about early 2000s, late 90s computer games.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, there was a lot of games I wanted to play that I didn't have money because I was a kid. I was like 15, so I didn't have a job yet.
Yeah.
Well, we had Diablo, so I remember playing that and loving that.
That's all you needed. Diablo is amazing.
Diablo was amazing. I want to play it. Well, and we had Diablo 2 as well, which again, amazing.
Yeah.
We also had like Warcraft and Warcraft 2, not World of Warcraft, but the predecessors, I guess. And we had what was Space Warcraft called again?
StarCraft.
StarCraft. It was a pretty popular game.
It's interesting because, I've played a lot of video games, of course, and I don't think I've ever even heard of this series.
Right? It's kind of like, what show was I listening to? They were calling them Forgot Busters, or...
Right.
Where, like, they were blockbusters at the time, but everyone's forgotten about them now.
Sure.
But yeah, I feel like it was popular, but I only knew of one other person. Like, I've only ever met one other person who has played it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so I know that this episode in particular is just going to get all the downloads because everyone's waiting to hear about King's Quest V.
Yeah.
That's what the teens are searching for.
They're looking for some retro fun.
Yeah. I finished the game. This playthrough, I finished the game, but I never, ever finished it as a 15-year-old.
Sure.
And it popped in my head the other day, and I'm like, I wonder if I could beat it now. I found it on Steam. The whole 1 through 5 were $12, so I just bought it. I did beat it this time, but I had to use a walkthrough because this game is insane.
Sorry, quick sidebar before you continue. I was about to say, when we were talking about all those older games like Grim Fandango and stuff like that, what's great about being in the modern era is some of them are remastered, or there's things to make them work on modern machines, but then you can also find them for extremely cheap.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
You know what's another game I wanted to play, but I never got to? What's it called? Black and White?
Yeah.
Where you could make like heaven or hell?
Yeah, where you're a god-like figure and then you had your worshippers and stuff, yeah.
I wonder if that's on Steam.
I don't know, because there was Black and White 2, of course, which was more creature-focused, but I remember I played both of those, yeah.
Well, I like The Sims, but I like The Sims because you're God, right?
Yeah. But anyway,
and if your Sims aren't gay, you can punish them by drowning them in the pool. It's true. Right. That's how everyone plays The Sims. I'm not even going to feel bad about that.
No, I was saying eventually it's just like you're like, and now you're drowning. Or the house is on fire and you don't have a door. Yeah.
I guess I should set up the premise of the game.
Yeah.
Shit, I can't remember the name of it. It's based kind of Silmaria. There we go. Silmaria.
That's the name of the world?
That's the name of the island.
Oh, okay.
So at the beginning of the game, you have four options for the kind of hero you want to play. You can be a fighter, you can be like a magic wizard, you can be a thief, or you can import the paladin.
Oh.
So on this playthrough, guess which character I picked, Dan?
Oh.
Based on all the D&D we've done together, guess which character out of those four I picked?
I mean, I got two in my head, but I'm going to go fighter.
You're right!
Yeah. And I was going to say, for most games as well, like a little peek behind the Dan curtain, how I think, I usually either do a fighter or a mage playthrough the first time. Fighter usually because then it's just like, you're like, I'm going to barbarian bash everything. And then the next playthrough, it's like, then I'm going to do something more high level and sneaky or wizardy or whatever.
Yeah, totally. And then on your third playthrough, you usually play the thief or the rogue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I picked the fighter, and you start off in I just want to say, on a side note, the graphics, like, they're 22 years old, so they're not like they're nothing like Skyrim, but I appreciate them a lot because the world that they built looks really cool. And there's a lot of cool backgrounds.
That's good.
Yeah. And I mean, as far as the backgrounds go, I don't think they look that bad. If you look at any of the people, they kind of look shitty. But the backgrounds look really cool. So you start off in this wizard's chamber, and it's very cool design, and you're floating around and you're talking to a wizard and you get the backstory. But basically, the king of Silmaria has been assassinated, and they are doing a series of rites to determine who the next king will be.
Nice.
Yeah. And the wizard wants you to go down and do the series of rites so that you can become king.
Hooray.
Yeah. I also want to mention, it's cool because I don't know, maybe I'm just too easily impressed, but there are a lot of characters that you can talk to in this game. Mm-hmm. And there are a lot of like dialogue trees, and they have like voice actors speaking all of it. It's not just reading it.
Yeah, no, that's classic Sierra staple stuff.
Oh man, it's awesome. And none of them sound the same.
No, that's great. And that was one of the kind of their hallmarks of their adventure stuff.
Yeah, it's really cool. There's also like, as far as like a 22-year-old game goes, it does have a little bit of a sandbox element where you can go anywhere in the game.
Nice.
Yeah. At any time to a certain degree. Some stuff's kind of unlocked later, but you could probably fandangle a way to open it up early.
I was about to say, yeah, you glitch through a door somewhere.
Yeah, totally. Glitch through the door.
Yeah.
So you leave the wizard's place. The basic story is that you sign up for the competition to do the rites, and then, you know, the series of rites are like a series of quests, and you go and you fight different things, and then it culminates in fighting a dragon that's been imprisoned on the island.
Nice.
When you win, you become king, and that's the end of the game.
Awesome.
Yeah, super cool, right?
Yeah.
So the thing about the game, though, is there's no way to do this without a walkthrough. I'm pretty confident.
Well, or it would just take like triple the amount of time.
Nope. Because if you were going to try to play without the walkthrough, this is the advice I would give. You have to knock on every single door. You have to talk to every single person and take every single dialogue tree option. Yeah. You have to click on everything that's on the screen every single time, because sometimes what you need, like, it's not even a quest, but it's a thing you have to do in order to be able to do one of the quests. It is bring a scientist a pepper and pepperoni pizza and a different scientist an anchovy and artichoke pizza.
Yeah.
And the pizza's fine. You can buy it from a merchant. But the peppers, you have to go to an apothecary and click on all the peppers until you grab one.
Yeah.
And the anchovies, you have to go down to the pier and talk to a fisherman. And you have to basically go through every single dialogue option until he gives you anchovies.
Yeah. No, see, it reminds me a lot of one of my favorite series, which is it's called, like, I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but it's a point and click adventure. And basically, yeah, you get to a point where you're just like, you're clicking like every item you have on like everything just to be like, is it going to interact?
Yeah.
You're like, okay, this door, you're like, use this, the rubber chicken. Oh, okay, no. And then you're just like, you're like, anything, please interact with something.
Yeah, and then the game gets really sassy, and it's like, you can't use that way.
Basically.
Like, but I want to.
Yeah, your character just starts talking back. You're like, why can't I use the baseball bat on the window? Come on.
The part that I got stuck on was the pepperoni pizza part.
Sure.
Because after I did find the peppers and the pizza, and I did find the anchovies in that pizza, but in order to give them to the scientist, you have to combine them.
Right.
And like in my brain, you combine it by putting one item over top of the other item in your inventory, right? Does that
Sure.
make sense?
Yeah.
But what you actually have to do is click on one of the items and then it shows you a bigger picture and then you have to drag the other item onto the big picture.
Right.
So just and like no walkthroughs, like I couldn't find one that's like it sorry, I did find one eventually, but it took me like 6 or 7 walkthroughs to find out how to combine the peppers on the pizza because they said combine the peppers in the pizza and I'm like, fuck you, how do I do
Yeah.
that?
You're like, that's the problem I'm having.
I really, really want to do it, but I
Yeah.
can't.
And there's no convenient like combine button.
No, of course not, because why would they do that? Because games are supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
I should also point out that I played this on the easiest possible setting too.
Yeah, but is that just for maybe like the combat or what? You like? I assume the puzzles would still be probably the same-ish.
Yeah, that's a good point. But still, I'm like, oh. So there's that. There's another part of the game where you go to Hades and you have to bring back proof that you like went to the underworld.
Yeah.
And to do that, you don't pick up an item down there. You have to go to a merchant named Wolfie and buy a jug, an empty jug from him.
Yeah.
Which you should probably buy like 10 because you need these jugs for fucking everything. And then what you do is you go to this part of the map that has like a river running and you find a dead body there. And then you have to go to the part of the river that the dead body is closest to and fill up the jug. And then you go to a different part of the river where it meets the mountain. And then you pour that water into the river, even though it's all connected. And then that opens up a gate to Hades. And then what's the dog's name? Cerberus?
Cerberus, yeah.
Cerberus, thank you.
Or Cerberus, yeah. The three-headed dog.
Yeah. He shows up, and in order to get past him, you have to, in this order, give him a gyro, an anchovy pizza, and a box of chocolates. And then once you're down in hell, you have to take a path that you cannot see on your screen.
Nice.
And that you can't get to by clicking with the mouse, so you have to override it with the keyboard.
Mm.
And then you go down to a whirlpool where there's only one spot that you can fill up your jug, even though it's all this equal distance from the path. You have to just click along it until your character fills up their jug. But if you click in the wrong spot, he goes back up the path to the higher path.
Yeah, there was definitely some exercises of frustration in those old games.
Oh my god, yes. Another thing about the game is it's still fun though.
Sure, but yeah, I mean, I'm not saying they're not fun.
But yeah, so that's like the core of the game. There's also different things that you can do. Like there's 4 or 5 different marriage options if you want to go hit on girls. There's like a belly dancer that's at the inn you can marry, but only if you ask her questions in a very specific order, bring her the right presents, and then propose on the right day.
Well, I mean, that makes sense.
Right? You can also marry one of the other people competing to be king.
All right, nice.
But again, you have to challenge her to combat, intentionally lose, wait the appropriate amount of time. 3 other things have to happen in the plot. Then you try to kiss her and she says no. And then you try to kiss her again and then she says yes. And then you have to buy the specific ring and give it to her on the specific day so that she says yes. Good times.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's that. There's also at the inn, which is called the Dead Parrot Inn. And I don't know why, but I love it. It's the best name ever. There's some gambling you can do there with like knife throwing on a spinning board, which is kind of fun if you need quick cash. Mm. You can also, there's a fighting arena, which you can go fight at.
Yeah.
You can fight like just random people. But if you're a wizard, I wouldn't advise that you do that because magic doesn't work in the arena.
Oh, boo.
Yeah. You can also place bets on who's fighting who and stuff.
Yeah. Can you bet on yourself?
Yeah, you can bet on yourself.
Nice. That's always the best.
So yeah, there's like lots of other side things you can do. There's Science Island, which is an island that you have to go to a corner of the map that looks like it's the end of the map, but it's actually, if you click on the right gate, you can go to this other part.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's like an island, and you have to take a gondola over, but you have to break the gondola lever first and then go get a throwing spear and then replace the lever with the throwing spear and then get onto the gondola and then throw rocks at the throwing spear until you hit it so that the brake releases so you can go to the island.
Wow, that sounds intricate.
This game is so intricate. In order to do anything, you have to do 15 things that seemingly are unrelated first.
Yeah.
All that being said, apparently there was a rush to finish this game because of the deadline and financial pressure.
Oh, bummer.
So there was supposed to be a multiplayer option, like an online multiplayer option.
Nice.
Which I assume would take place a lot in the arena, would be my guess.
Yeah.
Like, that's a cool thing to have if you can play against people against the world. But that was scratched. It was also, you had the option to either play like the main hero, whose name is Hero, or you could play two of the other competitors, where that was supposed to be an option, but that was scratched.
Mm.
And the funniest thing that was scratched to me is that they were originally going to give you a bow so you could do like ranged stuff.
Yeah, do some archery.
Yeah. And there is a target practice area set up for archery. You can buy arrows everywhere. Like, there's so many opportunities to buy arrows. But that was scratched. So you can still buy arrows and you can go to the target, but
you can't shoot.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. That's something you'd think that it's like, I guess maybe it was so last minute or someone just didn't go back through and disable the table to be like, okay, no arrows. Because you can't use them.
You can't use them. They're there, but you can't use them.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I think it's really funny.
Yeah, that's an odd thing to get rid of as well. I guess they just didn't have time to program all the physics and mechanics for it.
Yeah, that's what I figured. But it's funny that they didn't remove it, because I was like,
yeah,
I always remember playing and being like, oh, I wonder when you get a bow.
Yeah, you're like, this is going to be so powerful when I get it. They're clearly setting this up.
You're never getting it.
It's clearly an end game item because I haven't gotten one for so long.
Yeah, but overall it's really cool. You can walk around. There's a very cool area with a Pegasus. There's like cool side quests. I don't know. I recommend playing it, but it is like you do need to have another tab open with a like walkthrough. Yeah.
And how long did? Oh, sorry.
Huh?
I was gonna say, how long did your playthrough last?
Oh, good question. When did I buy it? I bought it last week before we podcasted, right?
Yeah.
I bought it on Sunday, and I played, I think, 6 hours on the Sunday. And then I finished it on the Monday.
Nice. So, an 8-hour-ish type game.
No, I think I was only about halfway. Yeah, I'd say like 8 to 12 hours.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, I also like did a bunch of stupid shit, so that probably extended it, but yeah.
No, that's part of the fun of it. Like you said, it's kind of sandboxy. It's all about walking around and trying stuff out and talking with randos.
Yeah, it's really fun. Would you play it?
Maybe if I was in the mood to strike, because sometimes, you just get in a mode and you kind of feel like playing something like that, like a Quest for Glory or the King's ones and stuff like that, and King's Quest or like a Grim Fandango, kind of strikes. So it definitely sounds like a good option.
I remember, I think King's Quest was the first game that we ever bought for our Tandy computer in 1989.
Yeah, I think it was because King's Quest has been around forever.
Yeah. Like we had that and we had a Nintendo. And we had a TV that didn't have a remote, it had a dial.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, that's the name of it. It's Broken Sword. That's the name of the series that I also really enjoy. It's a point and click adventure.
Oh, cool. Yeah, do you have any questions about the game, Dan? Do you want me to elaborate on anything else that's really stupid that you have to do in order to get anything done?
Well, like you're saying, you can play the four different character types. Is there like their skills and stuff like that that you gain, like in RPG elements like that?
Yeah, they think they set that up, but it didn't really get executed.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it just kind of determines.
You get, like, when you're creating your character, you get a certain amount of skill points, and you can put it into, like, offense, defense, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But you never really level up or get to, choose how to increase stuff.
Right. So you don't really like learn new, like, so you were playing like a fighter type. Do you have some kind of like special attacks, and then those are your special attacks the whole game?
No, because all you do is hit things.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, like, the only skill that you learn in it is that at one point you have to find a book that teaches you how to swim.
Nice.
Because you go to Atlantis.
Cool.
Yeah. You get an amulet that lets you breathe underwater, and then you have to go to Atlantis and you have to fight the dragonfish so that Hippolyta, Queen of Atlantis, will not attack Silmaria.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah. After you murder like 20 of her merfolk.
Well, sure, they shouldn't have been standing there.
She points it out too. She's like, you just murdered like 20 of my people. And you're like,
nice.
How about peace?
You're like, I was actually coming just to talk, but they attacked me. It was all defense.
They started it. Yeah.
No, like I said, it sounds like it was a lot of fun, and like I was saying, something that could be some good retro point and click fun.
There is sorry, I was just thinking, you don't really learn skills, but you do kind of get different storylines for different characters.
Okay.
Like, overall the game is the same, but like if you're a thief, for example, you can break into people's houses and stuff. Mm-hmm. So you get a little bit more of the world opened up. If you're a fighter, I think it's the most basic thing. I think the only added thing is that you can marry one of the other fighters.
Right.
Yeah.
And you can hit things well.
You can hit things. Ooh, and if you're the mage, you can accidentally buy a scroll that just kills everyone and like lets you lose the game.
I was gonna say it lets you win the game because you're clearly the king then.
No, it also kills you.
Oh. The ultimate death spell.
Yeah, it just destroys everything. I don't even know why it's in the game.
Just for a laugh, right? That all that kind of stuff usually always shows up in games back in the day.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall fun. I recommend it. Go to your Steam account, spend the $12, and play King's Quest V.
No, Quest for Glory.
Yeah, Quest for Glory 5.
From 1998.
From 1998. I guess I should wrap it up.
But I would also like to add on, if you haven't played Grim Fandango, definitely check it out. It's another great adventure game worth a playthrough for sure.
Oh, nice. I think I'll have to check it out too.
Yeah, and I think it's like, it hovers around $5 to $10 on Steam, and it goes on sale on occasion. So
I don't know, $5 to $10 is big money for just one game. I paid $12 for 5 games.
I'm just saying, on a Steam sale, it'll cut down, and you can get it for a few dollars for sure.
Well, if you enjoyed this episode, please rate and review us on iTunes or whatever, and also we're on social media at Tome of Uselessness. You can check out our website, tomeofuselessness.com, and you can email us, tomeofuselessness@gmail.com, if there is a point and click adventure game that is under $12 that you would like me to play and review.
Yeah, let us know.
Only if it's under $12, and it has to be at least 20 years old.
Well, I think at this point, any point and click adventure game will be in that age category because
That's
they don't
fair.
really make them anymore.
Hey, remember the game Myst? Does that
Yeah.
count as a point and click adventure game?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
I never played it. I wanted to though. It always looked so cool.
Yeah, because then there was the Mist and then the sequel, which was like Raven something, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Raven something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening and stay safe.
Bye.